I get back, right, I'm run down because I didn't sleep when I was out there. I'm not very good. If Suzanne's not in the bed, there's something, it's like I feel...
What, she's got to be there to tell you to sleep? Close your eyes now, Carl.
It just...
Now, and our ears, stop listening.
Listen to my words. Stop, sleep now, ears.
So anyway, I wasn't sleeping, so I was there for 4 days or whatever. I must have had about 3 hours.
One real day's work filming, and he was shattered.
Really.
He was absolutely shattered. He was weak. He was ill for a week afterwards. I did like 35 days, you know.
Yeah. So, yeah, but you were sleeping. If you don't sleep, it's basic sort of biology, that. If you don't sleep, you get run down. Sloths never get a flu. Because it's good, isn't it? That's when your body's replenishing.
Stop. Can we just go over that one? Replenishing.
What is it then?
I'm gonna burst. Sloths never get flu because that's when your body's replenishing.
So the thing is, I'm bound to get ill. Dude, you know what it's like. You're always like got a cold and that.
Oh, he's dissing you. Everything's
what's it got to do with
I'm just saying because you're a bit of a sickly child, so you don't
understand. Oh, jeez.
I'm only
gonna go at the looks and then
only because I'm trying to get him on my side. So anyway, so I'm shattered. I get back, so I think it's a bit weird that this isn't shaking off. And there was some news report about how there's some serious illnesses in planes because stuff goes out the engine and into the...
Oh yeah, it's people from all over the world with all different things.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, oh, what have I got? You know, it's my luck, innit? So I go to the doctors.
The doctor said, well, you've done a whole day's work and you're not used to that, your body's shut down.
So he said,
you better have a holiday.
Yeah, you need, this is when your body needs replenishing. And I am a doctor, and I know replenishment is one of the best.
Replenishization.
Replenishization is one of the best things for sloths.
So I said to him, I said, look, I'm not one to moan. I hardly go to see him.
He went, oh, you.
I hardly see him. I hardly see this fella. So I said, look, I can't shake this cold off. I woke up the other night shaking, and he said, oh, virus, right? So,
which isn't scary at all, because everything, you know.
Well, there's some dodgy viruses, isn't
well,
there?
yeah, but there's some.
That's what I'm saying. So,
yeah, of course, it's a virus. Yeah. What else was it? What else would it be?
I don't know. Not a doctor. So I said, oh, when's it going to go? And he said, oh, might be 2 weeks. This one seems like a bad one. You're quite clammy, he said. So I said, yeah, I feel a bit clammy, yeah. And he said, yeah, you will do. So anyway, so I felt happy about that, and I'm more confident with the doctor. Because, you know, you've got your vest off and all that, so you think, why not just let him do a bit of a body check? So I said, doctor, whilst I'm here, I think I've got some eczema on my leg. And he goes, let's have a look. And I said, there it is there. And he said, that's not eczema. So you've got to touch a ringworm.
Blimey.
Right? So straight away, anything with a worm in it, you're going, you know what?
Yeah.
It makes it sound worse, doesn't it? I was thinking like tapeworm and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's going, yeah, ringworm, and he saw me panic, and he went, don't worry.
You pictured a worm with a giant mechanical arm crawling up your back.
You could see by my face was a little bit like, I've got a worm in my leg. He's going, don't worry, it's not a worm. And I said, how have I got that then? And I reckon it's from this bear suit.
It wasn't. It was. Well, it was.
It's a little bit weird that I had bare boots on. I had bare boots on, and where the bare boot was, I ended up with ringworm on my leg.
Do you know why it is where it was? Because the only bit of your leg showing, because you had bare boots on, fake fur, with a fake fur tunic, and the only bit showing was your shin. You were walking around in long grass. You got it from the grass.
Well, no, because I said to him, because I wanted to hear the words bear suit from him. I said,
what's the chances of that?
Yeah.
I said, where...
Doctor, what might I got this from? And then you just shut up and waited for him to say bear suit.
I said, it's a little bit weird, isn't it? I said, I thought that died out with rickets, right? Because I'd never heard of ringworm since I was a kid. I remember some dirty kid had it at school, and my mum sort of said, don't go near him. So I said, ringworm then, doctor. Where have I got that from? Thinking he'd say...
Have you been wearing a bear suit?
Yeah. Anyway, he said, well, he says gay people get it.
What?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Why did he say that to you?
Well, this is what he said. He said, gay people. I said, right, tick that off. He said, wrestlers.
Why do wrestlers get it?
And I said, I don't understand the connection. I said, I don't know, any gays. I don't know any wrestlers. And he went, well, it's the body, skin rubbing.
Well, why do only gay people get it then? Why don't heterosexual people get it?
Don't know. Didn't quiz him. But then he said, what about...
Did the doctor really say to you, gay people get it?
He might have said, like, homosexuals.
Does this doctor operate from a park bench somewhere?
Sorry,
Does he have a lot of carrier bags with him?
Why would his first thing be ringworm? Gay people get it.
So yeah, I said not gay. No, I said I don't know any wrestlers. That's a fact. And then he said, have you stroked any bald pets?
Any bald pets?
Bald. He said, have you stroked anything with hair missing? Bald.
That's just yourself.
And I said, I can't remember. And I couldn't be bothered.
Was this, sorry, were these all euphemisms? Like, wrestlers get it. Wink. Do they? Yeah. You stroked the little bald hairless thing. No, doctor. Okay, gay people get it. Look. Are you gay? Are you gay? I'm gay. I'm gay. I want to stroke someone bald.
So I didn't want to get into the bear suit thing because then he'd be thinking, what's he doing?
No, you've got it.
So what? Wait. So he had a list of he's reading this off a list, was he?
No, he did it from his head. He knew it already. He didn't have to look at a form or anything. He went ringworm. He's obviously had a few people in there who have had it, and they've gone ringworm. That's a bit weird. Where have I got that from? And he knew straight away.
So he's had 3 people in there with ringworm.
Popular.
One of them was a wrestler. One of them had a shaved dog. And one of them was a homosexualist. Is this the same doctor who
told me that my nerves were too short for my body?
Yeah.
Different fella. So yeah, ringworm I got from my time in Boston.
Well, that was a heck of a story. I'm beginning to wonder if the reason Suzanne didn't go with you on that trip was not to do with work obligations. Some scientists have come up with a cure for bird flu. It's somewhat to do with some stuff in horses. They gave the flu to a mouse and then injected it and it's well again. I think we should stop coming up with cures for things as the germs are just getting stronger and stronger. I reckon by 2020 germs will be so big that we will be able to see them in the air. They will no longer be little particles. You wouldn't swallow one. If you did, it won't be the germ that will kill you. You'll just choke to death.
I think that's how we'll die in the future.
Choking on enormous giant germs. And they'll be like rampaging around the cities, will they?
I'll tell you what though, right? Now, I'm getting worried now because the stuff he believes and thinks of, I mean, it could be mental. Do you know what I mean though? Like a proper paranoid sort of, one of those people that assume going to live in a loft covered in tinfoil.
Yeah.
Right? And pages of the Bible all the way around the... You know, and Suzanne's having to put on some sort of spacesuit to come in and give him his beans on toast.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to polish each bean.
That's what scientists do, isn't it? They just sort of think ahead of everyone else. That's what I'm doing. And the weird thing is, right, Steve, sometime last week, there was a science piece which was close to what I'd already said.
Yeah.
That they've got some germs that like eating sugar, right? They stick them in a lunchbox with a chocolate bar. Within an hour, it was gone. Right, and they say now these germs love chocolate and stuff.
Did this scientist leave it near this fat scientist that works in the same laboratory? And he went, it's unbelievable. He said, Ted, he went, what? Right, I put the chocolate bar in here with the germ. I came, it's gone. That's amazing. Wow, that's brilliant, that. Do it again. What? Do it again. Leave another one, see if it happens again.
So in the future, you're running around and germs are...
eating chocolate.
Right. That's not science, that's Pac-Man.
Number 3. I had a vision of that Chinese flu. Right? That's C. I had a vision of that Chinese flu.
You had a vision of that Chinese flu,
yeah,
and that's
the band
letter C.
C. Right, so 3 bands there. 3 cryptic clues.
Not really.
Text in 83 XFM. Just send the 3 band names. That'll do, won't it?
Can they do a website as well?
If they want, they can email in.
Well, tell them what it is.
Yeah, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Right.
Send it in there.
Give them again quickly then, Carl.
Right then, so get a bulb when it's young and that. Look
Brilliant,
after it.
different, totally
Look after
different.
It, teach it stuff.
Yeah.
And all that.
Okay.
What's the band, right?
Yeah.
Second one, people have a problem doing this when they get home late at night. You know, they've been out drinking and that. They get home. What problem are they going to have? K is the initial. Third one, I had a vision of that Chinese flu. What do I mean?
Brilliant.
C is the initial.
Play a record. I mean, it's abomination. Right.
Give us the...
Go on, give us the clue. I haven't got an idea. Go on, give me the clue then again.
Right, well, do you want to say who the winner is? Or
No, let's hear the answers first.
First clue was, if you get a bulb when it's young, You look after it and that. You teach it stuff.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Go on.
The initial was R.
Yeah.
Right. That was razor light. All right.
Razor light, you raise a light.
Razor
Yeah.
light. Okay.
Kind of works.
Yeah, it
Second
didn't matter
one.
what sort of bulb it was then.
It was very
Sure.
specific.
Go on, Mike. Go on.
People have a problem doing this when they get home from a night out drinking.
Yeah.
What's the problem they're having? They have a problem getting the key in. That keying. That's the
That's awful.
word.
That doesn't count.
The words.
Keying.
And they got it right.
It's keen. It's keen. It's
Get it
one's
right.
awful.
The last one,
Awful.
I had a vision of that Chinese flu.
Yeah.
That the initial I was C. That was Caesars. Caesars. They managed to get that as well.
Great. I love the fact that even he knows they managed to get that as well. Did anyone get all three?
Yeah, a few people.
That's terrible. Okay, who was the
Caesars.
first one? Who was
I
the
don't
first?
know what it says about XFM and its listeners that people are getting these answers right.
I know. Go on.
Shall we move on to the ancient world in terms of Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, of course, because they made huge advances, particularly the Romans, who understood, of course, the importance of sanitation. You know, famously their streets were clean.
Yeah. Don't you think that if we hadn't have cleaned up as much, that I don't know, we'd be stronger?
What?
Well, I know what you mean. Yeah,
They say now, don't they? They say
let
feed
your
a baby,
kids eat
eat
dirt.
mud and
Yeah,
all
of
that.
course. Well, that's building up its sort of immunity system. If you're too closeted, you don't fight it. And that's exactly what immunisation is, giving you a bit.
Yeah, but
of
it's
the
gone
disease.
mental now. Whenever a baby's born, he's drugged out of its eyeballs. It's only
do you
about a
mean?
week old. They're
do you
giving it
mean?
all sorts of shots.
Like what?
Loads of stuff for whooping cough.
Yeah, you don't want whooping
sugar
cough.
lumps.
Tutankhamun could have died of whooping
No,
cough.
but did you give it loads of stuff? And now it's like, I don't know, it's making us weak.
Yeah. Soon there's going to be things that, one, we're not immune to, and two, our antibiotics no longer work, because of course things like the viruses and bacteria or whatever, they evolve and change so quickly that you can't keep up with them. And also there's this big thing, like the superbug, for example. There's a very strong theory that says that it's where people took half the course of antibiotics, and what it did was, it was almost like an immunisation to the bacteria and virus against the antibiotic. They got stronger.
That's what I mean.
So yeah, we need some germs, as you'd call them, but there are some that we have eradicated. I mean, I think it was in our lifetime that they eradicated smallpox from the world. They just stopped it, and it saved, millions and millions of lives, and they wiped it out.
There are rumours, of course, that both Russia and America still have the smallpox virus under lock and key, which they could theoretically breed and use in a chemical warfare situation.
Well, there was a bit of a scandal a few years ago, I think 10 years ago, where in a university laboratory, someone came across a marked yoghurt pot in deep freeze that had smallpox in it. That was a hangover from the 70s.
When you say it was marked, was it like someone's put their name on it because they don't want someone to eat their smallpox
No,
yogurt?
I think they looked into it, and it was the deep frozen smallpox virus that thawed out
They
and
just
released.
left in a fridge.
Well, I think so. Yeah, it was an
I don't
admin
understand.
problem. I'm sure that it's somewhere. What I mean is, it's under lock and key or frozen at minus
Well, that's
200
not good
degrees
enough, is
centigrade.
it?
Why?
On the lock and key and all that. It's not good enough. Get rid of it. Why are they keeping a little tub of smallpox knocking about?
Well, are they not? Are they not meant to be?
Well,
No,
that's
but
a
what was he doing
lesson.
there in the first place? To me, that's like in James Bond, where they don't kill him when they have the chance. There's always that little thing of, let's play with danger, let's keep a bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Pop it
probably
next to AIDS in the Kiora bottle. I don't understand why you'd store that.
Well, there's probably a presumption, it's probably an overhang from the Cold War, where people were thinking, well, listen, what if Russia's still got some smallpox? We better hang on to some smallpox.
It's just
Yeah.
clutter though as well, isn't it? You see, we're obsessed. We're keeping stuff. And it's the same with germs. We can't even say, get rid of that. We won't be needing it. Smallpox. We'll keep it just in case. Get rid of it.
One prediction for the future, Carl, is from an academic study, what the world will be like in about 75 years from now. And a big prediction they're sort of sure of is that androgyny will rule. But soon you won't even need a female or a man in your life, you'll just need the egg or sperm. And you'll be able to have any coupling you want or not. Thoughts, Carl?
That isn't what I've heard.
What were you heard?
I heard
So
that.
you read an academic study, Rick, but
Yeah.
let's find out what Carl's been reading.
I heard we're all going to go ugly.
Different point, though, isn't it? That's a
Completely
different point.
that. Not listening to a word Ricky said. But
No,
go
it's
on.
just if we all sort of go ugly, that will sort the population
He gets an
problem out.
extra syllable in the word ugly. 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 Ugly.
Yeah. So that just sorts the population out because people aren't sort of having it away left, right, and centre.
Well, no, well, then that doesn't sort of... What do you mean?
Sorry, Rick, I don't understand what the hell he said there.
Are you saying because everyone's ugly, everyone won't want to have it away more with the ugly person?
Yeah.
Okay, I still don't... You seem to understand what he's talking about, Rick. I'm still
But
confused.
what he thinks is that if we're all ugly, then we still have this strange paradigm of beauty that won't exist, so we won't fancy anyone as much.
No, they'll still sort of fancy, because at the end of the day we're animals, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we'll still have it away, but
Yeah.
not as much as they'd like to do now because it's all based on looks.
Sorry, but what's this got to do
What's
with what
this
Ricky
world
said?
like? Describe
because Ricky's-
a typical town or country
It's
set to me.
exactly right. Imagine London. You've still got the gherkin. You've still got the big wheel. That's
Right.
It's just everyone's ugly.
Right, and they're doing all the same jobs, are they? They
Everyone's
just
still the
So
world's got to carry
What
on.
do they look like? What's ugly?
Just imagine, like, have you ever seen anyone when you've just gone, look at that?
Yeah,
Right, well, like that.
yeah, but hold on, because it's not
No,
like
because
a
we have
strict.
got better looking, haven't we? If I look back now
Yeah,
at a school photo,
yeah.
you look at my class and you go, what was going on then? You can't tell the difference between some of the girls and the blokes.
When he said we've got better looking, I thought he was going to talk about cavemen, not his school photo. I mean, what happened there? There's been no evolution in that time. What are you talking about, Carl?
We've got better looking now, haven't we?
But we will change.
Yeah, we'll
Probably not in
change these little
75
things.
years.
I mentioned before about your little finger. There'll come a time when that'll go. I've watched it. I've kept an eye on what my little finger's doing. Sometimes it does nothing. It never helps out. All the others are grabbing all the stuff. That one just sort of sits there watching. So you could get rid of that, and I think that will go in evolution.
Think of the books he could have read when he was doing that, when he was monitoring his little finger.
I've been watching my little finger. But again, if you shaved a caveman, he's basically us. He's basically us.
Well, he's basically Carl.
yeah.
I think what's more interesting about the future, Carl, is the fact that technology integrated with humans will be fascinating. So, for instance, they're talking, about the fact that in the future we may even be able to have chips in our head that allow us to access the internet or an equivalent of it directly, mentally. So imagine that.
To say, not French fries. It doesn't
But
mean
hang
that.
on, though. At what point are we us then?
Yeah, this is good.
Go on.
Go on.
No, because if I can go on the internet at any time, then that's going to know more than me.
What does that mean?
Okay.
When I don't know an answer to something now, which is a lot of stuff,
Really?
Go on.
you
Yeah.
watch University Challenge,
Yeah.
and the stuff them kids on that know. I just think, where have they stored that? For me, if something doesn't get used within a time period, that's it.
But again,
It's forgotten about it.
basically, you've got about the same hardware
I
as
haven't.
those people.
Honest to God, I haven't. I know I haven't. So what I'm saying is, if I want to know the answer to something, I go on the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if I've got a chip in my head with Google on it,
Yeah.
I'm never going to use my head. I'll just be forever on Google.
I'm never going to use my head.
Well, I'm not,
But
because
what do you
what's
think
the
your
point?
head is, though?
Because I'm going to get it wrong. The chances are I'll get it wrong, so divert that. It's like saying...
No, you can't bypass the brain straight to Google. When you're having a chat socially, it's not like they're going, all right, Carl, how are you? And you're not there. You're asleep and Google's talking. I think you'll find that they don't.
No, only for,
see naked ladies?
no, only for questions, though, that I don't know. But what I'm saying is, because I don't know a lot of the answers, I'll just say, forget it, leave it connected to Google.
So, no.
So then I'm not me anymore.
Well, what are you doing? Where's you gone?
I'm looking at Google.
So it is you.
No, but what Steve just said is, we'll have a chip in our head
Right.
that can access the internet.
Right.
So why bother
But
using my
you're
own
still the
knowledge?
go-between. You, Carl, are the go-between between the internet and whatever your
But you
mouth
can't
says.
beat the internet.
Yes,
You
but
can't,
you're
it
the
knows everything.
Where does Google get the information from in the first place?
Someone on one of them bright people on University Challenge has put it on.
Yeah, a human being.
So, but I'm going to get lazier. I don't watch University Challenge and go, I want to be like them. I'm going to start reading books. I've accepted I'm never going to be like them. I can't play along. All I tend to do is I say to Suzanne, right, so every question now, I'm going to have egg as the answer. And I'm hoping that one day...
What an amazing game! What an amazing intellectual pursuit that is!
What a lucky lady.
What does Suzanne say to that?
Well, she just sees if it works. She just plays along, and then I'm saying, oh, it might be this one or whatever.
I love that, because I remember once, it was about 5 years ago, Carl and Suzanne were around near Christmas, and me and Jane were there. We were playing different parlour games, like charades and that, and then one game, you have to do that thing where you have to beat, and you have to do animals, and you have to go, first one is A, then B. So you say aardvark, next one goes beaver, next one goes cat. It came to Carl, he panicked, and he went egg.
And he was on egg. So you're sat there watching University Challenge, and on a good night, it's, you know, well-known jeweller Fabergé is well known for his jewel-encrusted egg. Humpty Dumpty is commonly pictured as a living egg. Sometimes it's extraordinary.
If you keep saying the same thing, eventually, it's like a broken watch.
Carl Pilkington's head
right,
looks like hay.
Yeah.
I've just got more chance of getting it right.
Sure.
But also, he told me when he plays University Challenge, he says he's given up ever trying to get an answer. So now he tries to guess who's going to answer the question. Another great game! Suzanne's roped in on! How'd you do with that?
That's not...
I'm normally all right on that.
Normally all right on
There's got to be something else.
There's another evolution thing though. When you watch brainy people on that, or wearing glasses,
Yeah.
what does that tell you? We are reading too much. We're wearing the eyes out, and that you can't argue with that because the evidence is there.
Can. Okay, one more go. What do you mean?
The chip in the brain isn't part of filling your head with stuff. The journey of filling it with that stuff.
What do you mean?
Whereas if you had a baby, the baby pops out, it cries a bit, you go, right, what do you want your baby to be interested in? And you say, I want it to be a plumber. You go, right, when it's 2, we're going to stick a plumber chip in its head.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not right, is it?
No. I don't know why you chose plumber either.
Well, we still need plumbing.
Yeah, I know we do, but...
It's odd that they would have chosen, but they've got such kind of small ambitions for their
It's what his
babies.
granddad did, and they want the sort of the thing to go through the business. They own a plumbing business. They want the baby to carry on the business of the plumbing.
They want the baby to be able to plumb.
Well, what about this chip in the head?
But you've made this up.
You've made the scenario
They're
up.
not putting chips in babies' heads.
I thought you said they were.
No,
when did I say
that? Who said that?
I think Steve's right, and I don't know, I haven't read it, but I imagine he's saying it's the next step in convenience with technology and an interface between a human and a research tool or fun. You know, computers went from being the size of a room to a thing you can wear on your watch. So the next step may be, you won't forget your Palm Top, you won't forget your iPod, you won't forget your laptop. It's in there, it's an interface.
I know, but it makes us lazy.
Carl, it's not a question of. It's not that Google is now Carl. It looks like Carl, but it's just spamming, little pop-ups about offers you can buy and all cheap holidays here and there.
He's not the man I'm married.
Right, look at it like this.
Jesus.
Look, I see it all the time now.
Go on.
You go, where are you going to someone? And they go, I'm going to Dorset.
Aye.
Oh, aye, what road are you taking? Don't know, just pop on the sat-nav. Now, that's a start, isn't it?
Okay. Let's act that out with me, okay? I'm going away for the weekend, Carl.
Are you?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Dorset.
Oh, yeah. Are you getting there?
Car.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, which way are you going?
Don't know. Why do you want to know?
Oh, just making a friendly chat. I'm interested in geography. Which way are you going?
Well, I don't know really. I've got a sat nav in my car, and I'm getting there. And what do you know? What?
Easy, isn't it?
Well, I'm not a pigeon. I don't.
I mean, you got an A to Z.
Well, yeah, but it's on a computer with the A to Z. What's the difference between looking at an A to Z and?
Lazy, though.
Not really. No. Why? Why is it any different that I've got it computer eyes so I can go along? A to Z's a bit dangerous, isn't it? It's a bit. Don't go to A to Z when you're driving along.
Clive, who are you talking to? Because we need to hit the road. We need to get going.
Well, it's this fucking idiot who wants to know what road I'm
Sorry.
taking, which is a fucking boring thing to ask anyway.
Sorry, who is this twat? Because we really got to
he's
get
a
going.
fucking dickhead. I think he's an A to Z salesman by the door. I mean,
Just tell him we're using the
Not a brain,
sat-nav because
yeah.
it's the quickest, most efficient way to do
It's
it.
the quickest, most efficient way
Use
of
your
doing
brain.
it.
No,
okay?
but look what's
Who
happened.
the fuck are you?
Would Columbus found America if he had a sat nav?
Yes!
No, he wouldn't.
He'd have put in America and he would have taken
He
it
wouldn't.
to
He wouldn't.
America.
He only found it because he got lost. Now, if everybody just goes,
Hold on. How would an undiscovered country be on a sat nav?
no,
Go on.
but I just
What's the
mean
difference between the sat-nav and the map in that regard?
because I've found some lovely little cafes on roads I've never been on.
And I've instantly gone from finding a continent to a little cafe.
I love that.
Little greasy spoon.
I am off to discover the unknown world. Where are you going? Well, I don't know yet. It's the unknown world. What are you taking? Just a boat. Oh, lazy swim, you cunt. I love the fact that he's so Luddite now, he's annoyed at the sat-nav. I mean, you'd have probably given Columbus a hard time. Oh, got a compass. Don't you know where north is, you twat?
I just think there's something in being lost. I never feel lost. I just think, oh, I've had a diversion. Because you find new things. I'm forever going
Meanwhile,
down.
Suzanne's asking the French peasant where the...
Just think, Columbus.
All right, what's the most interesting thing you found when lost?
Like I say, I found a shop that was like a fancy dress shop.
Amazing.
Do you need fancy dress stuff?
Dressed
You
up
never
as
go out.
Columbus,
You never
went and
go
bought a
out.
sat-nav, went to Dorset for the weekend.
You never go out. Why do you need a fancy dress shop? That sounds like the sort of one thing you would hate is fancy dress.
Yeah, but I like looking at they have like a space helmet in there.
Right, so you found a fancy dress shop. Where are you supposed to be going that you had time to get sidetracked and go in a...
I think I was going to a meeting. I just cut.
Amazing, that's the last time!
So why do you want to get lost?
Yeah, you don't want to get lost,
No,
do
because I always give myself loads of time because I get lost a lot. I always give myself.
Get a
Get a sat-nav!
No, I'm just saying that's how you find little treats along the way. And next time you pass it, or next time someone says, "Do you know where the fancy dress shop is?" You go, "Yeah, I do."
You go, I have no idea because I was lost. I didn't know where it was.
No, but normally I learn.
I'm not going to tell you, lazy cunt. Have you got an A to Z? Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah, find it yourself, you lazy twat. Surely. Have you started seeing this now? Virgin are starting plugging Virgin Galactic. I think it's something like 200,000 quid, and you'll get a chance to go in a space shuttle into space.
Carl, thoughts?
Going to space.
Wouldn't it be a fascinating experience to go into space and look back at the Earth?
I mean, at what point are you all meant to be happy? Do you know what I mean? You're floating about up there, and because you don't get out, do you?
What, you mean to do some duty-free shopping?
I'm just talking. You don't go floating about, do you? You stay in your seat.
Well, they probably let you move around on the shuttle.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about getting out. For me, when you
What,
go
you
on
want to
holiday,
get out into space?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. When you go on holiday, the flight bit isn't the best bit of the holiday, is it? That's the bit you've got to do. So what I'm saying is you've got to stay on this and then you go back home. So you don't take luggage, right? I don't see the point.
Right, so you're there, you're sat in your own clothes for the whole time, same clothes the whole time.
But I don't understand what is the point.
I think it's the view. I think it's two things. I think it's the view and being able to be part of an exclusive club. I went into space. It's all that thing about man conquering nature, and you're one of that elite few that have managed to pop up, see the world from a distance that no one else can see it from, and then pop down.
All that way just for the view.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? I mean, there's a lot of other places I haven't seen anyway. Right, before I think about that, I think if you've done everywhere, I haven't been to Scotland yet. Right?
Right, yeah.
I'm not being funny, but do you know what I mean? So just have a look in your back garden before you go looking in someone else's.
In space.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would make it a trip worthwhile for you? I mean, if you did go into space, if we gave it to you free of charge, we said, Carl, go up
I know
into
the
space."
answer. I know the answer to this, Steve. He's thinking, I'd like to meet some aliens that can talk like I do,
Yeah.
and I can understand them, and they can tell me something. Like what? Oh, they met God, he was all right. That's the sort of thing, that's what he's going to say. He'd like them to look like monkeys in spacesuits.
Yeah.
That would be his ideal thing. He'd like to go to the planet of the
He'd like to go
apes.
to the planet of the apes.
He
Yeah,
would
absolutely.
love
They
to
could
go
arrange
to
that.
Look, he's nodding. He's
Yeah.
nodding. Thoughts, Carl?
Well, yeah, that'd be brilliant.
What would be brilliant?
Seeing a little alien and that, having a chat with him, find out what's been going on.
What's been going on?
No, but don't you think that, like, I mean, if you bought me that as a present, right,
Yeah.
either of you,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that happy. For me, that's a little bit like
Well, that's annoying because we've got you a trip
We
to
just
space
pulled
and a
together.
goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how like I am interested in sort of going on another planet, right? Not
Carl, you are on another planet, mate.
no, but do you know what I mean? It would be quite sort of interesting.
How do you think you'd get there?
Well, yeah, you'd go on a rocket and stuff, but what I'm saying is, at least you know when you get there, you're getting out, you're having a bit of a wander. But I wouldn't be happy in just the journey bit of it. That's all I'm saying.
That's great, isn't it?
But the thing is, right? Because I was looking into it a bit because I was reading about the Virgin Atlantic thing, right? And I was reading something that in 1971, right? 3 of them went up there. There was one bloke in the rocket, right? The other 2 wandered off, had a walkabout, seeing what rocks they can find. And that bloke who was in the rocket, right? He was the loneliest man ever in the world.
I don't know what to do. What that was. I don't know what to do. I don't know if that's some sort of profound poetry or I don't. Do you know what I think he's trying to say? He's trying to say he was, by definition, a human furthest away from all other human contact.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, okay. No, you said loneliest. Loneliest evokes an emotion.
Yeah.
But
It's like he started crying and writing poetry and listening to Morrissey records.
But what I was thinking is, do you think when he got up in the morning, he still bothered to put his clothes on?
That's the first thing that came into your mind.
No,
when
just
you
because
pictured him
I
in
always,
there.
at the end of the day, even if like my girlfriend Suzanne's out at work and that, I'm not happy walking about with everything out because you never know what's going to happen. I just mean, you never know if someone's going to turn up.
no, I don't like what I don't like. No, I always pop some pants on or a towel, even if I'm
not
alone.
always. Because I've knocked on your door when you've been stood there with.
No, he's taking his trousers off.
I did it especially, knowing that you were there. I've done it especially to annoy you.
right.
Yeah, so.
But do you know what I mean? Do you think he was walking about the rocket with his tackle out, or did he
floating
go,
about,
well, no one's watching here?
Do you reckon it floats up or down?
Well, if you are the man who was up in a space rocket and was for a short period the loneliest man in the world, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what you did with your time, how lonely you felt, and also did you float around with your cock and balls out? Woke up at 9:55 a.m. Soon as I woke up, I looked at Suzanne and she looked at me. I said, "Did I tell you about?"
I just think of him opening his eyes and looking at him.
Okay, all right. Okay, so he opens his eyes. He looks at Suzanne. She looks at him. What question, Rick, do you think he immediately asks his girlfriend?
Go on.
What question do you think? Have a quick guess.
Am I dreaming?
I woke up. I said to my girlfriend, "Did I tell you about?" I woke up. I looked at Suzanne. She looked at me. I said, "Did I tell you about the immune system?" Did I tell you about the immune system? Suzanne started laughing. I said, "It's amazing." She said, "Not now."
Oh God! I was thinking that.
Springing into action, he zips up, his eyes are like. Did I tell you about the immune system? Oh, shut up, Carl. Put the kettle on.
No, it's something. When I was looking on the web, found something out.
Go on.
It's a story about a woman who had a baby. Who had a baby.
What are you talking about?
What?
A woman who had a baby who was having a baby.
It was no clearer when you repeated it.
No, Carl, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do for the common good, right? Pursue this line of inquiry, right? Because I don't know where it's going, or play a record. I'm actually torn. I don't know what to do.
No, I remember seeing it and thinking I've got to tell Ricky about that. It's brilliant.
What should we do? Should we go with it? It's entering into the abyss. It's opening Pandora's box. It's peeking. It's going down to the cellar.
I've got a couple of questions though.
Go on then.
Well, come down there with me. Come down in the cellar with me.
Okay, right, Carl. What, first of all, it was on the way. What do you mean? The baby was what? Had another, was it, she didn't give birth, the doctor didn't find one of those set of Chinese dolls up her? Russians dolls, whatever they're called.
That's what I pictured it like, those dolls where you take the head off and there's another one in there that all look the same, but no, the story was, there's a woman who's...
No, don't just say it again, that's a headline. That's not a story. There was a woman who had a baby, That's not a story. Imagine handing that in as a thesis to loads of the BMA. There you go, and read that.
That's a children's rhyme.
Yeah, there was a woman who had a baby What do you mean? So she had a baby, right? Yeah.
And,
that bit's fine. We're okay with that.
That's normal. That's normal.
A woman had a child.
Yeah, totally normal.
She gave birth. Fine.
Yeah.
Next.
Well, I don't know that much more, apart from the fact that the baby's, like, roaming about, and then, 12 months later, she's like, oh...
Interesting, so the gestation period of that baby was actually 3 months more than an adult.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's weird, though, isn't it?
So, was the headline, "My baby's 12 months pregnant"? What are you talking about? 12 months later it had a... What are you talking about?
Forget it.
No, you haven't even finished the story. That what you said, and 12 months later, you didn't even finish the sentence. So what do you mean?
No, I didn't read any more into it, because I just saw that and I thought, that's weird, and then I just was thinking, oh, like, imagine the kid at school, at parents' evening.
Go on.
And it's like, well, your kid's pretty good, now let's have a look at your work, sort of thing. Don't you think that'd be weird?
But what? Did the child have a baby?
Yeah.
Of course it didn't! Play record!
We shouldn't have gone down in the cellar. We should have just left the cellar door closed. I never learned. That's the Zombies and a song called Time of the Season. I've enjoyed that.
What do you think of Zombies, Carl?
It's alright, yeah.
No, not the group, but the Living Dead.
Don't worry about them.
No? Why?
Not about, are they? Doesn't happen.
You don't believe in that?
Listen, right?
You don't believe in zombies?
So,
but you do believe
online,
a baby had a baby?
Yeah.
On you go, on you go.
Are you still saying that didn't happen?
Yes.
Right, well, I'll find the thing again, I'll print it off, and then you'll read it.
All I'm saying is there's more information that we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it always annoys me that when I do get the information, you'll go, yeah, but its name's Sally, you didn't say that, and make out...
No.
As if...
No, don't make it look like we're over-inquisitive or over-cynical. You come out with the most abominable things man has ever uttered, and you expect us to accept them. Usually headlines, usually illogical, not just probably wrong. So, fleas are born pregnant.
Are they?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
See?
On we go.
So...
See, that's true, and you're not impressed, because it doesn't involve a little werewolf child. Or half man, half shark. You're just not, it's not good enough for you.
No, but if I read the first line of something, and it's not that interesting, I go, next, right, and I move on. Now, when I saw a woman had a baby, and it had a baby,
but you still didn't read on.
No, but, alright, I didn't read on, but it got me thinking. Like I said, you wonder about the parents' evening. I was thinking about, you know, is it a good thing? Because you're gonna spend more time with the kid. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of mums who have to go to work and that. She's gonna be a great mum. Grew up with her, literally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
She's gonna be a great mum!
I just wonder if, I know it sounds weird, but if
was it the you know the baby that woman had, was that a girl or a boy?
No, it would have been a girl, wouldn't it?
Of course it would, it'd be mental, wouldn't it, if it wasn't?
And, we just had an email from Dan. He says, my Mrs. Lynn is pregnant and is 8 days overdue. Carl, could you offer any words of encouragement to coax the baby down the birth canal? I've sat Lynn only inches away from the speaker to allow optimum audio transfer to the uterus. What would you say to that, child there, just to lure it out to the wide world, Carl?
I wouldn't rush out, to be honest.
Right.
It's not good, is it? Out here.
Sure.
And I don't really want to talk about kids either, because Suzanne's mate's just had one and now she wants one.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Please never bring a child into the world, Carl. Promise us that.
They just bore me. Have you seen, there's loads of people in the office who have got them now and they've all got baby pictures everywhere. And they're all like, isn't it nice looking? And it's like, no, it's not. They all look the same. Do you know what I mean?
All like Mel Smith.
Just...
Don't they?
Well, it's that theory, actually, right? Do you know how I've said before about babies, right, but like little old people?
Yeah.
There was, No,
Another of the great theories.
no, the fact that, you know, you're born and you sort of, you know, you got no teeth, you got a little bald head, you can't control your bodily functions and that.
Sure.
Then you get to like
Sorry,
70.
you're describing yourself? or
Yeah, I was to say, you've got a dangerous
No, I'm
ground,
just saying, that's how you're born.
Yeah.
Then you get to about 70 or whatever.
Yeah,
All that starts to happen again, doesn't it?
Right.
yeah.
Now, there was a story in America about, just backing this up again, 70-year-old fella,
70-year-old fella, okay.
little bald head,
Yeah.
right? Probably no teeth and that.
Probably, yeah.
Nappy and that, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Goes-
yeah.
goes
It's like
into,
70-year-olds pop the old nappy on your 70th birthday, take your teeth out.
Goes into an off-licence to get some beer, doesn't get served because he didn't think he was old enough.
Right. Okay. Right, okay.
Hey, wait a minute.
Right, Carl's back. Carl's back.
Wait a minute,
No, I'm
sorry.
okay.
So they thought he was
Right,
a
okay, forget
giant
it.
baby that had
Right,
walked into an
forget
off-licence.
it.
Weird, innit?
Steve, forget it.
Carl, please. I
Forget
need
it.
Carl to answer.
No, I mean, that's the story, but it's weird, isn't it? That's
it's
what
not
I'm
true.
saying, it just backed up
The
my
guy
idea
in an
again.
off-licence thought that a giant baby had
A
waddled into an
70-year-old
off-licence.
wrinkled baby in an overcoat, stuck in Werther's Original, smoking a pipe and going, I can't believe it, the price is not the same as they were, right, was a small child.
Well,
Yeah, weird, isn't it? Play a record, you're an idiot.
right, what is the saying? Chucking a baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Have you heard that phrase?
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, how would you use that?
Well, how would I use that? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I suppose if you've been discussing something, you've come up with some plans, but you're slightly worried, and you know, you might abandon the whole plan, whereas there might be some ideas in there which are still worth retaining. So you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
There might be something you can just change and you don't. Yeah.
You know, there might be a few ideas you can salvage from an otherwise worthless one.
Well, the saying, right, comes from, like, years ago again. And,
Pre or post phone?
and, ages and ages ago when, like, you know, the bloke worked in the house, you know, he was like the coal man, and then you had like
No way, it's important.
then like the mum is like you know, she stays at home making the dinner, looking after the kids.
Yep.
And you've got like the little kid who's just growing up, just messing about and stuff. So what happens is, back then they didn't have like fresh flowing warm water every day, so all they could only afford to have like one full big bath of fresh water. So they'd fill up the bath, right? And then the dad would come home and he'd say, oh, I've had I had a tough day at work and that, down the pit. And his wife would say, it's alright, I'm putting the dinner on, you're gonna have a nice warm bath.
So, because he gets to bath first.
Because he gets the bath first, because he's the grafter.
and he's
right?
covered in coal.
He's covered in coal, so the water's like minging by the time he's finished.
Yeah.
Right? And then the wife says, oh, after all my cleaning the house and doing the cooking, I'm a bit sweaty now.
She's covered in dust and
Yeah.
grime. She has the next one.
I'll have a bath, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the line, there's a little baby.
Yeah.
It's been playing out all day. Also got like little grubby knees and stuff, needs to have a bath.
Yeah.
It goes in the bath, right? But because the water's so dirty,
Sure.
they go and empty the water out of the window. Can't see the baby in it. Chucking the baby out with the bath water. That's where it comes from.
I don't know what to say, Steve. Because I heard this. I'm just. What do you think, Steve? Steve.
So firstly, that sort of, I mean, that doesn't explain
Where do you
why-
start?
Well,
You're struggling, aren't you? You're struggling where to start.
Firstly, I can't see how we've now applied this to,
I've
you know,
been
the
thinking of
example
this.
that I
I've been
thought
thinking of
earlier.
this for days, Steve. Waiting for you to
I
hear
mean,
this one.
these coal mining parents deeply
Yeah.
negligent.
Yeah, I learned
They've
about
left
that
their baby in the bath, unattended.
That's the way round to do it. The one covered in coal.
Yeah.
You go first.
Sure.
You go first. Don't wash the baby and then get in that.
Yeah.
One covered in coal goes first.
Yeah.
That's the best idea.
Yeah.
Second most dirty one goes second, and then the clean little baby.
Yeah.
I think we should do him last because he's done nothing towards this family.
But more than that, Rick, leave him to his own devices.
Yeah.
Jack, I'm just going to throw the water out.
Yeah.
In the bath.
Don't check first.
Have you checked that the baby's down there?
Don't
No,
check,
I'm not
don't
even going to waste
bother.
my time
You'd
checking.
see it, you'd see it.
I'd be able to see a
You'd
baby.
see a baby in
if
there.
a baby was in here,
Yeah.
I'd be able to see it. I'm just
Yeah.
going to throw it out.
Yeah, I'm not even going to look, to be honest, Jack.
Not
We've all
even
had our
gonna look,
bath.
yeah.
If the baby's in there,
Yeah.
then it should be,
Be
making
careful,
itself
Jack.
sick.
We have lost 3 children this way. Don't worry.
This isn't
No, but it's better
this
not
isn't
knowing. It's
broadcasting though,
better
is
not
it? This is
knowing.
nothing. Come up with something.
Well, the
Talk.
fat baby then, the fat baby that they found, that was on the telly.
Right. Well, what was that?
It's just a little fat baby. That,
Oh, for
I don't know what, it's just a little fat kid and that.
What? What?
It was on the telly. It was on the telly. And
But what was on the telly? You just said fat baby, fat baby, fat baby, fat baby on telly, fat baby on telly. You're meant to be telling them what's happened in the world. Tell me about the fat baby on telly.
It's just they've found some. There's this illness called Momo, right? And they've just got this woman had a kid. It's really sad. It was on Channel 4 and that, right? And kid's born.
You sure it wasn't Jimmy Carr?
Kid's born and that, right?
Momo?
It's called Momo.
Isn't that
yeah.
that Black Music Award?
No, right, little fat baby and that, and there's only 3 of them in the world. These little fat babies,
Right.
and
So
one of them.
they're in danger.
How fat? Are you not telling what do you mean? How fat are they?
6 stone. It was only 2. And there's 3 of them in the world, and there was this one, and there was one in Brazil.
Are they like endangered? Is that the problem? Because there's only 3 of them in the world. Are we worried? Is it like a conservation campaign?
They're hunted for their flesh.
No, it's sad. If you, I know, it's easy to
shouldn't
joke
laugh,
that,
but
but if
you
you've
could make
seen
an
it, you'd
interesting
go, oh, it's a
handbag
bit sad and that.
Well, I haven't seen it, and I know nothing about it.
Well, I've told you, there's 3 of them in the world. I mean, when you've been saying I've got a round head, I was a bit like, yeah, everyone has. Stop having a go.
Yeah.
And then I saw this picture last week. I thought, God, he's right.
Can't we just pop it on the XOM website?
I'd rather not.
Oh, go on, just get
Steve,
someone.
have you seen that man in a jar without a brain?
Sorry, is that something? Is that a product you can buy? in like Sainsbury's?
Is it a dream you had yesterday?
Not in
You
a
wondered if
jar.
you could. Can I? Yes, hello. Could you make my dream into reality, please? Oh, we can't actually, sir. In plastic would be good.
Sorry, what do you mean?
In the future, you'd be able to download your dreams and then just like act them out again, probably in the year 2000 or something.
Soothsayer.
No, there's some museum somewhere
Yeah.
that's got this little fella who was born without a brain, and he's in a jar, and it's just like he's got a really round head.
Right.
And when I saw this picture, I thought, God, it just reminded me of this little fella in
Yeah.
a jar.
Oh, and what do you mean he's born without a brain?
He was born without a brain.
So it's a baby.
He's not a little fella.
Yeah, but it's weird.
Do you know the difference? Do you have conversations with like people in prams thinking that fella's little and he doesn't talk much?
Yeah.
You know, babies aren't like little people.
Well, maybe.
Well, they are little people, but I mean they're not very small adults. They're not like midgets.
They don't do a job of work, is what we're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. You're very there. What do you
I
mean?
didn't read about it. I just saw the picture. And
This
it
is
looked
where
like
you're
a
going
man.
wrong, Carl. This is always your mistake. You see the picture, you don't read the little caption.
But what do you
underneath.
mean? How do you think-
guess at what you think the meaning
But how
is.
did you know he didn't have a brain?
He said something like the brainless man.
Yeah, but people say that about you. It doesn't mean you literally you haven't
No,
got a
no.
spinal cord.
I bet somebody's seen it and knows what I mean. It's a famous picture. It's
Right,
like-
call in 08700 800 1234. Once again, you win a prize if you can tell us what Carl is talking about. Just in general. It's an ongoing competition. We're trying to find some CDs to anyone who knows what Carl is talking about. Well, we've had calls confirming that there was indeed, a fetus or a stillborn child.
A pickled
Born-
baby.
A pickled baby. No wonder it died. Born without a brain. But everyone has, you know, pointed out that it wasn't a little fella.
It certainly wasn't a little fella.
No.
But because it had been in the jar for a long time, I think it had aged a bit.
What are you basing that on?
You do carry on growing, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, your ears and your nose.
Your ears and your nose. And your eyes don't grow, so,
Yeah.
you could probably, yeah.
I'll dig it out for you.
Yeah.
Imagine if like there was an experiment where they were raising a child just based on the information that we said on the radio. What kind of a person
It was like
would they
download,
be?
yeah. And it
What kind of
just,
information would they
and
have?
it took everything literally.
Exactly.
And I think, yeah, there's no irony or, yeah, it was just.
They just everything we said they assumed was fact. Everything that Carl said.
And
they
any
assumed was
question,
fact.
any question it had about the world, it could only ask Carl.
Exactly.
And it would
See,
be
now,
his-
this worries me because without wishing to be disrespectful in any way, Carl, you know I think you're the best man on earth. When you have a child, we could be in a situation a bit like that. Do you know, is it a concern for you, do you think, that, like, when your son's growing up, or your daughter, and they're asking you questions, you're conscious, I mean, you yourself have admitted that
I'd
you
just say-
have a sphere of knowledge which you are an expert on.
Ask your mother.
You'd say ask your mother.
That's good.
That's great, fair enough.
That's good.
And I'd play with it. I think I'd be a good dad.
Yeah, I think you would.
But I wouldn't be the one who's shouting at it.
No. Who would you get to shout at? Probably Windsor Davis. He'd be good, wouldn't he? You horrible little man!
Well, you know, I'd tell it the rights and wrong. You don't have to be a really bright person to know the rights and wrong in the world.
Yeah. No, I think you are bright, Carl.
You are. And at what point in their life would you tell them about the evolution of the baguette? Which you told us.
Or the story of the bee.
Yes.
That you scored once.
Or the two children. Would you ever get them to meet as maybe like that? They could be godparents. The friends you had at school.
Yeah,
with webbed hands.
the big heads and webbed
They
hands.
weren't my friends.
That weren't friends.
I wish we could track them down.
Oh, that'd be great.
I imagine they're in a zoo. Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
two big
that's the Safari
jars.
Park, yeah.
Two big jars. Industrial strength jars. Oh, dear.
What do you make of the, what do you make of the first genetically modified baby?
Oh.
Are you worried about this?
Do you know what did they do? What?
Let me see what it says here. It
Well,
says,
isn't it just choosing the, you know, eye colour?
well, this is the concern, isn't it? That in the future you'll be able to decide whether it's a boy or a girl, how intelligent it is, what it looks like, is it handsome, is it ugly? Obviously, no one will choose an ugly baby, and so on and so on and so on. And so it means that, you know, where will it lead? Where will it end, Carl? Are you concerned?
I've thought about this a lot.
What will us three look like in the future? If they're being, you know, genetically modified beautiful people, what will we be like? How will we be considered in society?
Yeah. But we've talked about this before, haven't we? About the cloning thing.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matters, because at the end of the day, right, you might look like some other kid, but it's the way you're brought up that will change your features and the way you are, you know, your personality.
If you lie, you get a long nose, don't you?
Well, no, but listen, right, because I remember when we, you know, I was growing up on this estate.
This is gonna be good. Go on.
No, it's not. It's just an example of how this doesn't work.
Go on.
So we don't need to worry, sort of thing.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
So I'm growing up on this estate, and there was this woman about 4 houses down, right? Who's a bit rough. All right.
Didn't fancy her.
Oh God, no. Right, but she had a
Why?
baby.
Well, tell me about her first. I'm interested in this woman. Why was she?
It was a
So
very.
like being a man in a
I
dress.
mean, I didn't grow up in a posh house or anything, and
Sure.
I'm not saying that if you live in a bit of a rough house, you're a bad person.
What did she look like?
But anyone can
Tattoos?
clean up.
Looked
and
like Tony Green with a fag on.
they didn't clean up much, right?
Oh.
Which, even if you've not got a lot of money, you can still try and make
Get
a
some
place look
jiff.
nice.
Yeah.
Right? But she didn't, and a kid used to take a horse into the house.
Sorry.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah. Whoa, Neddy. Whoa, Neddy. What do you mean a kid used to take a horse into the house? Where did he
believe
get
it,
a
right?
horse?
Must have nicked it from somewhere. Must have done.
you seen a horse in it? No.
What, is that from outside the saloon round the corner?
Yeah, was it just tied up with a bit of...
Right?
Oh, that's great.
I'd
Big
been
Big
out.
Jake, come and looking for it.
I'd been out.
Oh.
Nicked
Right,
away.
sorry, let me get this. This was before the lynching stopped or after.
Where did he get a horse from? What do you mean he must have nicked it? His mum said, where'd you get that from? I bought it. Alright then. But keep it out the kitchen.
I don't want you going Catlin rustling.
Where did he get a horse from, Carl? And how long did he have it for? Was he leading it or riding it? Mum, open the door, I can't stop!
I can't stop it. Open the patio door as well, I'll be...
Looks like we got us a runaway. What do you mean?
I don't know, but the thing is, they couldn't afford to buy one because they're not cheap. So I'm just guessing. Maybe that's wrong of me. But I think...
He had a horse?
Yeah, right. So
That's why the family didn't have any money, they'd spend it on the horse.
No, I don't
Exactly.
think, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they would have bought it. So anyway...
Yeah, it's wise to whisper, Carl, in case they're listening.
Yeah, and
They could be in the room next door.
It's not buying it, it's keeping it as well.
Oh, so I was like in the car with my dad coming into the avenue, and you used to have to drive down it to turn round. And, and you know, sort of go back to our house.
You had the traditional method of transport, yeah.
And the horse was in the lounge,
Reading a paper.
just like walking around.
Oh God! What?
And when I was doing, I tried to earn myself some money once by flogging little flowers in plastic cups.
What? This is
And I went-
genius. It just keeps coming. What do you mean you're trying to flog little flowers? What do you mean?
Wait. Let's play a record. Let's play a record and come back to this,
Wait a
because
minute,
this story's
wait a
gonna
minute.
just unravel and unravel. It's gonna go on for hours. Let's
It
play a
gets
track,
deeper
Carl.
and deeper. It's
Yeah,
like
come
an
on, Carl.
onion, isn't it?
We've created a whole world here where there's a man living with a horse.
Just walking around the lounge.
I come from the West Country, I've never heard anything like that.
I just think of a big sort of like orange carpet and a rediffusion telly and this horse going, I'm fed up in here.
Exactly.
This is really...
I am not taking the rubbish out again.
Yeah.
We got on to genetically modified babies, but
and then
somehow
Carl started telling a story about someone with a horse, and then he got on to, he was trying to make money selling flowers. Just do the flowers briefly.
Well, hang on, I just want to recap slightly. So there was a family, and who had the horse in the family?
It was...
Because you lived on an estate in Manchester.
So the mother was a right pig, apparently.
Well,
I don't know whether that's
you don't need
relevant.
to go that far.
But
what I'm trying to do is, like, make a picture for you so you understand.
What does she
what a
look
picture
like?
it
Who
is.
did she look like?
Bit of a... and no disrespect to her. Bit like Pauline Quirk.
Quirky, yeah.
Right?
Okay, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be Pauline. Did she have any tats? Did she have any
I've
tattoos?
never got that close to her.
Okay, alright.
So who had the horse? Was this her son or her
No,
husband?
her daughter.
Her daughter had stolen a horse,
Yeah, from... I don't know where. There was a... I think there was some stables down the road or something.
and they kept the horse in the house with
They
them.
kept it in the house.
Did
But
they
didn't
get
have it
caught?
for long.
No.
So, and you said you were in the house one day and you saw the horse
No,
in
what
there.
happened was, I was, they did this thing at school about raising money for charity, right? For some local charity. And they said you can do anything to raise money, and they came out with all these ideas, and I thought, that's good.
What was the charity?
But well, I don't know, I thought, forget the charity.
Yeah, that's
I'm
just
a
a good money
charity
making idea.
So-
You're a charity.
So, so I asked me mum for some, 'cause she used to have a lot of flowers around the house.
Sure.
I said, can I just take some snippings off them? And, I'll go and buy some plastic cups. And, got some soil out of the garden, planted the bits of plants in them,
Yeah.
got a tray,
Yeah.
had about 25 plants on it, selling them for 25 pence each.
Excellent. Did you sell any?
Yeah, so loads.
Did you just cut, you didn't just cut them and stick them in the
Yeah, they
soil?
want to survive.
Oh.
But I think people sort of thought, well, good on him for trying. But anyway, so I went round to theirs, because I thought their house could do with a bit of colour and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a bit rough. So as I went
The
home-
horse went, thank God for that breakfast. They've been feeding me kitty cat.
So I got up to the door, and they opened the door, and it was one of them houses where no carpet,
Yeah. A horse in the living room.
You know.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
and the horse was walking around the living room.
Oh.
I looked quite happy and everything, because I always say that about animals.
Black Beauty
right?
was on. Yeah.
Well, think about it, right? If you were a horse, where would you rather be? In a little wooden hut with a load of hay, or in like a house with a
Central heating.
three-piece suite and
Sure.
a telly and that?
Telling you that!
No, but I was saying this the other day,
And an Atari.
right? I was walking through London. the other
Commodore
day.
64,
Yeah.
rubbish.
Exactly.
Walking through London with Suzanne, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like homeless people always have dogs. And
Yeah.
she said, "Oh, I hope she looks after it." I said, "They've got that dog is happier than most dogs
Right.
because people always walk past and give it a pat on the head.
Yeah.
It's with its owner all the time.
Yeah.
It's out in the open. It's not locked up in a house.
Yeah.
It doesn't
You know what I
eat,
mean?
but other than that.
No, it does eat though. They're always all right. So that's what I was saying. I think this horse was doing all right for itself. Do you know what I mean?
Well, not many horses have got their own house.
Exactly.
For a start, yeah.
But anyway, that's
That's
what
by
we
the
were talking
by.
about. Yeah. So anyway, this family, who's a bit what we were talking about. It was about cloning.
Genetically modified kids
Yeah.
and all that stuff, yeah.
Right, now what I'm saying is, you could say, you know, right, Steve, you could have a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ricky could see it and say, God, I want one that looks like that,
Yeah.
right?
It could happen, Rick.
So,
Come on, work with him.
so you take it to your doctors, and I don't know what they do, they inject it with something or whatever,
Yep, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
and get a little baby, and there it is, it looks the same. Now the thing is, you separate, you both go off and do your own things,
Yep.
right? Now, you look at Stephen, you look after your baby,
Yeah.
you treat it well, you give it good food and
I'm a
that,
good dad.
all the vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
Ricky just gives it cheese, right? So then it changes its looks, it goes a bit fat, you know, it gets tired easily, and that sort of thing. Now, when this family,
Why am I just feeding a baby cheese?
right, this family had a horse in their house.
Yeah.
They had a little baby, and my mum went round and said, "You're not going to believe this, but it's a beautiful looking baby," right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know. And the weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, they didn't really look after it. And I'm not saying, like, abusing it, but it used to run around, it used to play out till, like, 10 at night.
Yeah.
It used to chase cars.
Right.
It was a bit...
Did it have hooves?
Yeah, no. Chase cars!
Right?
What sort of kid chases cars? Oh, God.
No.
Was it called Rover?
The weird
Did it catch sticks?
It's Liam, it was called, right?
Right.
Now, the weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, and all that, like, not eating properly and its hair was all patchy,
It's not Liam Gallagher, is it?
and chasing cars and that, and it became an ugly kid.
It's definitely Liam Gallagher.
And that's what I'm saying, right? You can clone all you like, but at the end of the day, it's how you brought up.
Brilliant.
Wow. What a life.
Wow.
That was a hell of a point.
Oh, God.
But am I right?
You're always right, Carl.
Well, like when you're born, you're a little baby, wrinkly and stuff. When you get older, you sort of morph into a baby again. And you go through the same phases. So when you're young, you buy singles. You get old, you got nothing to do all day. You got all your pension money. What will I buy? Cliff Richard's on the telly. Here's my video, buy me song.
You see, that started off as quite a sensible point, because I actually think they do it. But what was all that alien stuff about when you're born, you go wrinkly and you go wrinkly again? So sometimes you mix like normal things that human beings say with I don't know what.
Well, look, when you're a baby, you've got a little bald head, no teeth. You get old. What happens?
Are you a philosopher? Are you an official philosopher? Because, I mean, it sounds like it.
Do you know the other week when I came up with like a different idea of how we can sort of make the world run and that?
Can we just have a quick recap of that? Because I seem to remember it was a load of old arse.
It was ridiculous. It was he was saying that the world is overpopulated, so the system would be where people were living too long and stuff. So what happens is people live till 78. I don't know how you can enforce that, right?
Yeah.
But when they die, they've got a little baby in their stomach,
Right.
like a pip in an apple, that then carries on when they die.
Right.
It wasn't a theory. It wasn't an idea. It was the ramblings of a mental
You're
case.
saying it's stupid, but someone's emailed in and said, "Oh yeah, that's pretty good." Just saying.
Go on.
If that's a no, right? I've been thinking.
It is a
about,
no.
What about if we do it the other way, right?
Ah.
Go on.
Somehow, I don't know how.
A kid has an old lady?
That's what it's going to be, isn't it? A child that gives birth to an old man.
No. What I'm saying is, right?
Go on.
Work the other way round.
Come on then.
So if somehow we can inject something in like a body that's just died, right?
Listen to this. Imagine, but look, imagine this is notes.
So-
when he hands it into the Nobel people,
Yeah.
and they go, if there's a way that we can inject something, they go, well, what? Well, I don't know the chemical formula, but something HO2.
Right. So anyway, so you inject it in the temple.
He's narrowed it down to the temple.
So what happens?
She sort of wakes up,
Amazing.
right? And she works the other way. So like she might be 77,
Yep.
and then she'll have a birthday. She's 76, and she's working that way.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Okay.
Are you with me?
No, keep it.
Because the thing is, you've got.
No
I'm
idea.
really scared.
Yeah.
I'm really scared. This is the maddest thing you've ever said. This is madder than the old lady with the pip like an apple in her belly.
It sort of did work.
This is.
No, it didn't work. It worked in your head. It's like a dream that you wake up and go, oh, I've got a great theory. And
This
it's
is
like,
what. This is it. Let me just tell you the
Go on then.
ending, because the endings works out a bit better.
Go on.
What I'm saying is, when you die, at the age of
78.
9 months,
What?
at the age of 9 months, because that's when you come out.
What do you mean when you die at the age of
You're
9
not scared of dying because you're now a baby, so you don't know what's going on anyway. So there's no
So
fear.
you missed out a bit here. So this woman, what, literally gets younger and younger?
I think
Yeah.
when she's in her 20s, she's in her old age, Rick.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because that's the fun part of your life, isn't it? When you're 20 and you've got all your energy and that. So before you die, you're actually having a good life rather than it being the other way around.
But does she do different stuff than she did on the way up? Because she's already lived 78 years, hasn't she? Don't forget. She was a baby once, and she grew to her years, then someone stuck a needle in her head and said, right, back you go.
No, we'll forget all that bit.
I'll forget all that bit. How do we forget that bit?
What I'm saying
So
is...
she died and she doesn't remember all her... This is a new life, is it?
Let me just leave you with this.
Right, you're talking shit. Explain yourself.
But aren't the family getting younger as well? What's happened to the family?
Forget it then, we'll leave it as it is.
No, leave it as it is, shall we?
Shall we? Can we all agree on that, guys? Now, should we agree to leave it as it is? Is that all right? Because I don't want to hear any more from the diaries of Charles Manson.
No, it's. I mean, you're a fucking maniac.